when I was on season 2, I really wanted to get to the next episode to see what happens. Like, I was really that anxious. Season 1 didn't have me. It did at some parts, but not as much as season 2. Season 2 really hooked and reeled me in, and I'm a fish. Like,
It feels like the full Dookie Super Saiyan Goku.
And I want to learn more. And more! And more!
Oh yeah, it's the champ. Let's go!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Plastic Power Podcast. This is Starblast Studios alongside Ghetto 19 and Champ.
Yo,
and
more!
Sorry, I meant to say Gojo 19. Why did I say Ghetto 19? I got them mixed up. Dang nabbit. And today in this episode, we obviously, as you can't already tell, we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2.
yes.
We have a lot to talk about. Look at all these dweebs like wearing, like Champ with the headband around. He came in here wearing that, and then Sean, he put a sock around.
Oh, God. Look, he did that one. All right, I can't see.
But
I
man, like, no, Champ,
off.
you actually got like all the get-ups and such, like really nice with like the
Yeah.
black shirt and everything. It's really good. It's really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, very.
I just need the white
Ma-
hair and the blue eyes, but you know, I'm not that white, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needed blue contacts and then a white wig.
Yeah.
You would have been set for Halloween.
Yeah.
Nah,
Maybe I'll
he'd be
do
set
that for the Halloween episode.
Nah, he'll be set for a convention, bro. That's where
Yeah,
that's where all the chicks and dudes will be. He'll be attracting all the chicks and dudes. There's a lot of dudes that are into Gojo like that.
Oh,
Like,
anime
this man
NYC.
is actively making people like rethink their entire sexuality.
Gojo.
Yeah, Gojo.
It's like you
All
have
right.
the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen.
Okay.
The way they animate it, though, is really like, it's like, holy shit, can I have eyes like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, like, you know, in the manga, it's not necessarily something that really stands out as much on the black and white, but like, you know, it's really well done in the
Especially
in the anime.
anime, yeah, especially with Mappa doing it. I mean, most anime studios would probably do it really dope too, but there are some people out there with really nice blue eyes like that, and it's like, lucky SOBs. Because it's so, most people have brown eyes, so when you see different color eyes, it's
kinda got
very...
'em.
Blue eyes? Oh yeah, you do have blue eyes.
Mhm.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that. Yeah, but blue eyes, they just stand out more on a human being compared
When
to
you do
most
an edit, it
people.
just like raise the saturation up so that the eyes look even bluer.
You know, it's funny enough because I was looking at one of your YouTube avatars, Heesh, and I was like, why does he have blue eyes? I don't remember if he has blue eyes or green eyes, because one he had blue eyes and the other one green eyes.
I thought you gave me green eyes because you're giving me Super Saiyan stuff. Because that's how you made my avatar.
Yeah, but then I think on the updated one, it's blue eyes, so it's like more
Okay.
true to your actual. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I just don't remember it, but now I know you have blue eyes. You got them
Absolutely.
Gojo beautiful blue eyes.
We just
Absolutely.
learned something new about Heesh or Starblast. I always thought you just had brown eyes. I thought we all just had brown eyes. My eyes look like they're black because they're like super dark brown.
Okay, well, we're getting a little bit sidetracked here. Let's go ahead and try talking about this, the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. And what a ride this entire season was. Like, my gosh, from the...
Roller
from the anime,
coaster.
it was a roller coaster because, like, I feel like in the entire story that was going on in the background as the anime was going on with, like, the animation studio, the animators having such a hard time. It's like...
What episode was that when they... was it the Sukuna fighting that forbidden curse? Is that
Yeah,
did
it was
that episode?
Sukuna versus the volcano dude. I don't remember his name.
Jogo?
it was that
Jogo, yes.
episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
And fun fact, Jogo has the same voice actor as Buggy the Clown from One Piece.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Japanese voice actor?
Yeah, Japanese. Well, of course, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I ain't watching the dub.
Well, they already have it. I mean, the dub isn't bad actually. I was going back and forth, Like I think I watched season 1 dub, then season 2 I watched sub. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the start of the season was it was really good because when you watch Zero, you get a little peek to the inside of the backstory of Geto and Gojo, but you really don't know much. And then when that short arc ends, that's the little scene you see where they're staring at each other in the street, and then Geto just kind of disappears, and they say like words to each other. But I
Yeah.
enjoyed the backstory. It was a cool little it was a cool it was a cool little arc to learn more about both those characters and how they used to be best friends, and they technically still are best friends. They're just enemies. I mean, and a lot of enemies do end up becoming best friends. Look at Vegeta and Goku, you know what I mean? Even
Yeah, or
like in real life.
Naruto and Sasuke, like they had their type of thing until they eventually figure stuff out.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. But
I will
there's
say,
kind of opposite because Gato and Gojo were
I just
friends
want to throw
first.
out that spoilers in this video for those who have not watched JJK. I don't know if we said that already, but just spoilers.
it's literally
real
a
heavy
review of
deep.
the
But
series.
yeah,
I don't know
you
if you
should-
if you're here and
But you
watching
never
this video,
know.
and haven't seen JJK season 2. What
That's
the fuck
your
are you doing?
fault. Your
It's better
fault.
it's better be safe than sorry. But yeah, the first half, it really is like the intro. It's like when you see the intro, it's like everyone's having fun, and everyone's
song
like
is such
and
a
on the
classic.
bike, and they're like it's like almost like a slice of life anime. But
Mm.
then we get a little bit later when Toji shows up, who is voiced by the king himself, Dio. I honestly
And
love this
Zeke
voice
Yeager.
actor. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Zeke Yeager,
Mhm.
and what was his name from One Piece? Oh god, what was his name? The admiral that has the ice powers.
Oh,
I keep
Aokiji.
forgetting.
Aokiji.
Akiji, yeah, he voices Akiji. I'm like, this dude plays one of the best characters in any anime. I swear to God,
Yeah.
like he has such an iconic voice. Even when you don't see him that much in season 2, he still carries a presence. I just love it. He plays the overpowered villain all the time, and I freaking love it.
Yeah, he was super powerful. Toji. What's his name? Toji?
Mhm.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
Toji.
super powerful. And after
He
that,
didn't even have any curse energy. He was just superhuman.
yeah,
He was like a normal
so
dude.
quick too. And I didn't
He's
think we
honestly
were-
my favorite character from the entire Flashback part of the season. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
such a prevalent thing. And like when he comes back, like during the Shibuya incident, then it gets even crazier because like
Yeah.
you think that he's like, what you're just like wondering like, what is this man gonna do? He's like, but then it's like you kind of find out that well he is back, but he's still not necessarily being himself. He's still mostly being
Yeah.
controlled, and it wasn't until like he
Yeah.
ran into Megumi, and then he saw that it was his son that he realized, well, okay, well, like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna
And
kill myself because
Yeah,
well,
he saw that
you-
Gojo like kept his word that the last words he said to him because he didn't want Megami to join. I guess whatever.
The Zenin clan. The
Yeah, he
Zenin
didn't
clan.
want them to join them, which he didn't. He went to Jujutsu High and everything, and really has no part of them. Which I think season 3 we're gonna delve more into that because we started looking at that manga and it started off with that clan. So, um,
It's a very infamous clan, and it's where what's her name, Maki is from, the one with the glasses, and her sister,
May,
the
yeah, May
twins
and
are
Maki.
from.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like a very like high class, but like they're kind of like infamous.
They're
And
like
he's
the
like, I don't
Uchiha
want. He
clan.
wanted basically his son to have a better life, but he also
Yeah.
hated him. And he's like, oh, I'm glad you didn't carry their name, and you're doing like your own thing. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Keep me proud, son.
Well,
Die.
yeah, and what's crazy when he first fought Gojo, like you think he killed him, but it's like he can't die because he's obviously still alive. But the way he like beat him
you're
at
just
first,
like wondering how does he come back from this?
yeah, you're like,
I'm
what
still
the-
wondering because, like, I'm still trying to figure out because I guess he used the reverse curse energy to heal himself
Yeah,
and like bring himself.
He-
But it's still like a little confusing because the thing with JJK compared to other animes I've seen is that JJK has a like kind of like complex lore when it comes to the like the powers of like the curse abilities and like
yeah,
what they can do. Because it's like it's almost like they can do anything, it's like almost like Doctor Strange magic,
Mhm.
So, but it's like the reason Gojo was able to come back is because because he has the 6 eyes. I believe that's why he's special. He can like
yeah,
has this ability to sense curse energy like anywhere, and he has this like built up, like incredible built up reserves where it's like it's just very powerful.
Well, they did a good job, I think, really explaining it because, like, they showed off how the curse energy is like, it's mostly all blue, which is also significant. You also see this type of energy like around like Yuji whenever he's trying to use curse energy, and then
Yeah.
reverse curse energy is like red, which
Is
is why
red.
it's called
The red,
reversal
okay.
red. all of those together, make purple. And so like this was also somewhat shown off in Jujutsu Kaisen 0, how like when Yuta, he sort of had this healing ability which allowed him to help characters, and he was using reverse curse energy. So Gojo essentially, when he figured out reverse curse energy, he used that on himself in order to recover from the entire battle, because it was like it's like and when you understand like this whole curse energy thing and then the reversal curse energy thing, I will say that I don't feel like they've done as good of a job, I think, really explaining it. Like they kind of like drop it in like a crap ton of like dialogue, and just like, and you're just kind of left like, like what was being said. There's not really a lot of imagery, I think, to really explain a ton of that stuff. But like when you actually go back and rewatch some of the stuff from the series, it becomes a lot easier. Yeah, it's a lot easier to understand. Like, I think that a lot of the problems was that when you go into season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, it's like you're not necessarily retaining that same information and such from the previous stuff when it comes to like the usage of cursed energy. When like that stuff is kind of integral, and the writer's going to expect you to remember this type of thing when they're doing a whole thing with the manga. And so it kind of makes, I think it makes sense now a lot more when just upon the viewing of it.
Didn't Gojo do something at the last second when Toji hit him too, which also helped prevent him from dying? Was that the reverse curse?
It was like, that was the reverse curse energy stuff.
Yeah, he did it like right at the very last second. That was the only way he was able to do the whole reverse curse thing, when he literally almost sliced him in half. So
yeah,
and I kind of half him in half.
I really like that they did that, because it basically added even more to the origin of like for when we first seen Gojo doing the hollow purple, which is because like I remember when first watching season 1, we're just like, well, he's got all of these different colored techniques, but you don't necessarily understand the complexity of some of these techniques, because of like you just think it's a special curse ability, when it's like the opposite. I feel like they don't necessarily call reverse curse like blessing, but it kind of is, because that's the opposite of curse. Yeah. So it's it's these two opposite energies sorts of thing.
Like what I was saying, a lot of it, like how they use chakra in Naruto, it reminds me a lot like that, which helps me understand how they use curse energy, because it is kind of similar in a way, but it's also its own unique thing. But they use it alike in a way.
It's difficult to sort of apply that type of thing here, because you're thinking, okay, well, if this is supposed to be chakra, then what the heck is reverse chakra? Or which would be reverse cursed.
I would feel like maybe that's a healing jutsu or something like that, like in Naruto. That it's still it's still regular chakra. Yeah, so it's kind of.
I think it. Yeah, you kind of realize, well, a lot of this type of stuff, because it's still being based upon, curses and everything like that, like actual real life stuff, it becomes a little bit easier to understand. I think we're using too much anime stuff as a means of like trying to get, this curse energy thing, when it's like, it's really not that. It's actually much more simpler than how we're expected to, but also just the way that the way that they communicate it isn't always necessarily the best, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll explain more as it goes along. But when they do tell you stuff, they do it pretty quickly. Like when they were telling us something, I think it was either about Gojo or Jugo, when they were fighting for the first time. They like stop in the middle of the fight and they're explaining it to you quickly. And you're like, oh shit, let me hurry up and read this. So you got to try to like keep up with it at times.
That is one mostly a downside, not necessarily from like a manga reading perspective or anything like that, but mostly from like an anime watcher having to read subtitles and such. I feel like consuming information through subtitles as an English viewer is not necessarily like the like letting you sort of fully grasp it. And that's why in and of itself, like, I think it's mostly just a skill issue on us English watchers. That's what it is.
I mean, if you pause it or rewatch it, it'll help you understand it more. So
yeah,
I'd probably recommend doing that. But another really cool thing with Gojo was when he used his curse energy in the subway, I was like, holy shit. Like how fast he was moving, and he can calculate everything, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, what was it, like 15 seconds? Or it was like under 20 seconds, and he killed every single curse that was in there. I'm like, whoa. And then when he fought Tree Branch Eyeball Guy, and he's like, is this your weakness? And rips them out from the roots and everything. I was like, jeez. But
wasn't that tree curse like actually a chick? I think they said
It might
he
have
was a
been,
he.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember.
But
But yeah,
I like that
I know a lot
curse.
of and I'm talking to the JJ community. Y'all are sick. You all like, man, I wish Jogo would just rip my eyeballs. I'm like, you guys all disgusting. I swear to God, y'all need to chill out there. Like, oh, I wish he could just rip my branches out. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh God, where do you see this? Are you on like
Okay.
JJK Facebook groups or something? Or is it on
No, I'm just
YouTube?
on Instagram. I'm just like trying to look for art, and the community's just weird. They like so turned on by Gojo. I swear to God.
Nah.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
mean,
you got
there's
to be
people like that in the
careful.
figure community, bro. I've seen that type of stuff
Oh
in their
God.
Instagram stories. I remember there
Sometimes.
was in Jujutsu Kaisen season 1, so Gojo went and like stepped on some ants, and this guy was saying, "Oh, I wish I was one of those ants."
Oh God. Taking it too far.
One thing I want to mention is like what I really like. Well, something I like and dislike is like the stakes in this show is like really high because
Yeah.
it like at first you feel like, oh, with Gojo around, everyone's safe, but they basically seal him off in the prison realm, and they successfully do it because we find out that I know I'm gonna pronounce names wrong. Geto or Gito
Ghetto.
is not himself. It's a curse user by the name of what was his name again?
Kenjaku.
Kenjaku.
Brain curse
Yes,
guy.
Kenjaku.
Mm-hmm.
He is basically has this weird like ability, or is able to transfer his brain to different people.
Well, I think
and
that's the curse. That brain. That's its body and shit.
oh, it's a curse
Yeah.
user, I believe. It's a guy that's been around for like thousands of years,
Oh,
and
it's
he's
someone
just been
controlling that brain.
Yeah,
or...
and he's someone. He was apparently. I think he was
it's a
also
jujutsu
involved.
sorcerer that's been around for like thousands of years.
I
Yeah,
think
this I
I
didn't
think
catch on
Kenjaku.
to. Like
I
who
think
he
Kenjaku was actually in the flashback episode with Gojo and Geto.
But I forgot
Like
who
you
he
saw
was.
someone else with like someone with scars like that. Yeah, I don't remember who they were either.
Yeah, because isn't Chozo
He said
his
in this
son, or
in this
Itadori?
season that he's been multiple people, so
Mhm.
it maybe I have to rewatch and see if he was in the background, but like he's like one of the main antagonists of this, because the whole reason that Geto is back is because he's using his body as a means of using that ability where he like eats the curses and then is able to summon them.
Yeah.
And he's able to use that body to mess with Gojo, because that's the whole reason Gojo let his guard down when he saw him, and that's when the prison, because I guess there's like requirements for the prison realm to work, and one of them is that the person needs to be off guard, and he snatches them. So
Yeah, but it's crazy how powerful Gojo was, because once he was in there, it had like all those curse eyeballs looking out. It turns into Gojo's blue eyes, and then it's so heavy it drops into the ground and creates like a crater.
Yeah.
I was like, God.
yeah.
But Gojo's all nonchalant, like, things will work out. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
you're like in a prison realm.
I'm just worried about like is that gonna drain his energies like significantly, like when he gets out or something? Because I'm sure like he's gonna be on guard like in the prison while I'm chilling with all those those curses trying to grab him or something like that.
Probably,
Like he was just chilling, like just flipping the
yeah.
the band. I'm like
He just didn't really care, but he knows
just
he's
like,
in a bad spot. But now, like
Yeah.
towards the end, you see Geto holding that. So I guess maybe Gojo let go, or maybe like you're saying, it might have drained some of his curse energy or something. But
But you never realize how much Gojo was protecting the the Jujutsu Society, because everyone gets immediately messed up in this arc, and I get my heart stabbed over and over in each episode. I hate it. This was a traumatic season.
you realize how powerful he is, and how not as powerful a lot of the other characters are, and it's like, whoa. Go ahead, Heish.
Well, I was gonna say is that like it makes sense because like from the entire flashback episode, they were able to easily explain away like like when they described like Gojo's powers and such, how like he doesn't, it's like he does have a limit to the amount of curse energy like that he can sustain, right? But
Yeah.
it's all because of but it's always like, constantly like, in motion. So it's like, I guess the way that they explain it, I can explain it is it's like a wheel that keeps on spinning and produces curse energy, but there's still always like a max limit of which he could have.
Kind of like
So
how Naruto always had that extra chakra because of Kurama. But I mean, like, eventually he does run out.
yeah, that depletes. So Gojo just doesn't run out, but he has a limit to
Yeah.
how much he can withstand.
Yeah. So, yeah. The flashback was what, like 7 episodes? One thing I did love, though, it's something so subtle, but every time it was raining and it was hitting the windows, that was so, like I
It
loved
looks like
watching
real
that.
rain.
Yeah, it's like it's so well animated, but it just looks so nice too because of how well animated it is. It's just something so subtle, but that's how good animators keep getting as time goes on. But I even like that whole scene with Gato and the blonde hair girl. I forgot her name. That we see at the very end, and she literally does nothing.
Oh, what was that? Was that oh god, what was
Mhm.
his name?
Which
What was it? The it's Bro's master, I believe.
yeah, but she
The
was
one
like
always
the one.
asking you what your type is.
Yeah, because Toto's master, I believe. I think that's his
Yeah,
his master.
But she was kind of like helped Gato like make up his mind and really
Yuki, that's her name.
Mhm.
yeah, she like pretty much made him. It wasn't her fault. She just kind of gave him that push
Nah,
that he
it's her
needed.
fault. She's like, yo, she like grows up to like Gato where he's like having a depressing moment. Like he just like
Yeah.
he's like post 2020, COVID, everything, inflation's going up. He's like, oh god, I hate my life. And she's like, yo, what if we just like wipe out humanity? And he's like, bad. He's like, bad. And then she's like, oh, I didn't think you were serious. I was
Yeah.
just joking.
I
But
will say
even-
this is one thing that I will say. When we watched the episode, I remember like one of the things I really didn't we really didn't like about it was how just like cluttered it got like towards the end. They're just showing buildings. You don't really know what's going
Yeah.
on anymore.
Oh,
You
at the
expect-
final
You
episode.
So,
don't know who's
I
talking.
realize-
Yeah.
This is not that. This episode was not like that episode was not necessarily like that bad. The reason as to why we ended up having problems because we were watching this episode together. As I'm at work, I have to pause the episode every time a customer comes in, and then continue on, and that's like messing with like the actual pacing and the flow that the episode's trying to put you in. And us pausing having to have to pause the episode is stopping. So
mean-
like rewatching the episode, it's like it's much easier to get through, and it's like the entire scene where you get to see Yuta again is so
Yeah.
much more grand, and that's. The one regret that I have when it came to that episode is that I wish I wasn't spoiled over Yuta arriving in that
But didn't they say
in
he
that
was coming back in season 2, like when Zero came out? Because my friend told me that when we saw the movie.
well they showed him at the end of the movie in Modern Era, and yet like I figured that he was, but
Yeah.
I didn't know when or how that was going to end up working out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
I mean, it was
just-
the last episode, so he had to pop up soon. Like, I forgot, but then when the episode happened and he popped up, like, I was hyped. I'm like, oh shit, I totally forgot he was supposed to come back in season 2. But he
Yeah.
does come back, and he just looks more badass and more confident, and just he's been doing it for what?
I wish the
like,
voice was a little bit deeper for him. I feel like that's the one thing that doesn't necessarily fit with him as much.
Yeah, a
but
lot of
yeah.
people
Well, he's
say
still
that.
a teenager. He's
Yeah.
he's still young.
What was
so-
he, like 15 in Zero? So now he's 16?
Yeah,
He's
I think he's
16?
I think he
Right,
might be.
because he was
maybe-
in high
I don't know.
school. He was in high school when all that shit happened, and Gojo
Wow.
started training him. Remember the kid, like Rika killed those teenagers bullying him.
hmm
Yeah, that was in high school. Because I just rewatched it after when I caught up and everything.
I think he's like 16, 17.
Yeah, he's got to be.
I think he's 17. I
Yeah,
think
he's got to be a
17.
year older than Itadori, because Itadori's what 16 right now, I think.
I guess fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
So
ending.
he looks like a man, bro.
Yeah,
the
like
way that
he
like
matured a
all his
little bit.
hair
Yeah.
is, like it's like slit, and it's like his eyes, like dude, you can when just looking at the slightest details on his eyes, like he looks so tired and exhausted.
He looked like that in the beginning of JJK Zero.
He was,
But it's
yeah,
like he looks even more like that too, with the hair. It's like you could just it adds the effect of him, like, looking older and such.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. But
He definitely got a confidence boost. Like he got a taste of like what it was like to have some power in JJK Zero.
Oh,
and he's
and-
like, it's like, dude, I'm basically OP as hell, man. You can't touch me.
and remember
This guy at the end of the show says, he's like, fine, I'll kill Yuji Itadori.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and you're like,
"What?"
oh shit.
And it's like, I believe him. He's like, I'm watching this.
I
Like,
believe he can do it.
He blames
definitely
them
can.
for what happened. Yeah, he blames
The only
Itadori
thing
for
that
what
confuses
happened,
me
'cause
is
of
that
Sukuna.
at the end of the movie, I remember what was his childhood crush. What was
Rika?
her name?
Rika.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was released, I believe, right? But
Yeah.
then at the end of the show, he says that, oh, Rika, maybe you overdid it a little bit. I'm like,
So
I thought you released her.
maybe
want-
this is actually Rika's cursed energy, and like her
That's
soul's
what
like
I'm
already
thinking, yeah.
passed. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, that could
Maybe it's
I
like-
have to rewatch it again.
she'll probably
think-
shapeshift from that creature she was to her human form back and forth. That's what I think now.
At the very
Maybe.
least, like I don't know how this all necessarily works. But I do think that like if it's like something like that of his cursed energy, then him really making out something like else, like holding on to like the memory of
Yeah.
her, like. I think it's more so a this is me theorizing. I think it's more so a manifestation of his cursed energy sort of forming into the memory that he had of like Rika, but she's
So-
still set free at the end of the movie, which
So
So
you
maybe
think
he's just
she's
calling whatever
gone?
his-
Yeah, that's what you're
Mhm.
He's
thinking.
just
Is
calling that thing Rika because it's like more like a memory. Yeah, like you said.
yeah,
It's more just like a-
that's my explanation. I
Or-
have no idea. This is
because
my
we never got
theorization.
to see it. We never
Yeah.
saw it.
or
so-
maybe she literally came back as a curse. Who knows?
Mhm.
So maybe maybe he missed her and was depressed, and that energy created her again. So you never know. We'll have to find out in season 3 because I am curious myself.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, you got to read the manga. I was telling my coworkers, I'm not waiting another 2 years for this. I'm reading the manga.
wait, it's
I
gonna
need
be
to-
2 years till season 3. How
I
long did season 1 to
believe
2
so.
take?
No, they I thought that they already said that it's gonna be like late 2024 that they're gonna continue the games in.
Yeah,
Is it really?
There's something games. What's the name of the next arc?
The calling
Col-
game.
Cullen,
Cullen, yeah.
Cullen or Color or something. But
Yeah.
but
It's the color games.
this
It's
is-
not what you think it
let's
is.
color this up. But
I will say, like, okay, I'm gonna tell people here. I did read the next 10 chapters of the manga, so I'm
Oh,
not
he's
gonna
gonna
say
spoil
anything.
it.
I'm not gonna say anything in terms of spoilers and such. This is one of those series that I ended up having to have to read the manga over, and it's like the way that they have everything continue on into the game. It's like it's really good. But I will say that the flashback story is like it becomes so much more important for like
the
the explanation
Gojo and
that they
Gato
give.
one.
Yeah. Like it becomes a lot more important and such, for the next explaining the stuff from the next arc.
Is
I just hope that in the next arc they kind of show and explain what was happening off screen that we didn't see at the end
Yeah.
of this arc, because they say like, oh god, what's his name?
Inumaki.
The one that's he loses an arm and like
Simon.
Apparently, this was shown in the manga, but the anime skipped it.
Unless it was something in the background that we didn't pick up on. I'm
It could
gonna
be something
rewatch
like that, yeah.
season 2.
there was just a lot of things that just happened so quickly, and I understand because we like saw the manga in comparison. Like, there's a lot of explanation, exposition. Like, there was just like 2 pages of exposition of just word bubbles of people reacting like something out of a Godzilla film.
Yeah, I don't like
And
that.
it's like, what is going on? It's just like, so like, the curses are released, and there's just this huge void of just this black hole of curses just expanding
That's right.
throughout the country, and powers going out and people are dying and stuff like that. I'm just like, what is happening? And then now Yuji is wanted, and they're trying to execute him. That's why they're setting Yuta.
Yeah.
The principal that is now going to be executed because apparently for him just teaching Gojo and
Yeah, those four.
Geto, like I was like, wait, they're just gonna execute him because he taught him,
and they're gonna keep Gojo in prison, and whoever tries to save him
as an accomplice for the Shibuya incident. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and I think whoever's gonna try to save him will be considered an accomplice of his and stuff. So,
I will say this. Okay, the JJK manga I've noticed has like been something of a. I have not seen such a large community and such a manga readers form that I've ever seen from JJK other than
it's
One
number
Punch Man.
one right
Like,
now. You know that the manga.
I see people in my Discord server they're reading it. Cheese, for example, he I think he reads it, and then this dude who works at Scott Robinson Honda, they come over to my station and such, for gas and such. Like, he said that he read it, and he accidentally spoiled me the fact that Todo was gonna kill himself after he met Megumi, which he didn't mean to do. Is like, oh, you saw that part? Yeah, I was like, no.
Yo, did you see that fight between his son and his father?
Just tell me,
that was a crazy crap.
Is Yuta already hunting down Itadori? It's not like a big spoiler.
Wait, how far did you say you were into the manga?
I went 10 chapters after the arc that ended. So like chapter 130. When we looked at it.
So how many volumes was that? Like 2 volumes?
10 chapters. No, 137. I stopped at like 147 or 148 chapter.
Oh, well, I'm because I'm gonna get the manga volume, so I want.
I don't know which volume. I mean, I can check it.
I just search it online.
Bro, just read it on Viz. Read it on Viz. It's like you got to.
No, I like to have physical copies.
Wait,
don't rely on digital media all the time.
Is it
but it's like a $2.99 monthly subscription.
Okay, yeah.
Physical copies are good. This is why DVDs are becoming stock.
Yes, but at the same time, champ. But at the same time, champ, you ain't
gonna be able to collect stuff.
You ain't gonna be able to like catch up with the more recent material chapter by chapter by reading the volumes.
That's the fun part of it. You get to take it anywhere.
No,
you don't have to worry about batteries.
You have to keep on swinging away from spoilers. That's the problem.
If I love it enough, I'd buy actual copies.
Yes.
But with that, I'm just gonna read it on digital for now. But
okay, now he's playing devil's advocate here. Okay,
now
I need to buy. I need to buy season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray for sure, because it is such a really great series. I only watched like 3 episodes, because remember when I told you guys where I let off at was actually episode 4. So that's when Sukuna kind of takes over his body at first, when they couldn't beat that one curse. Yeah, so I only got up to that, but go ahead. Who was about to talk? Oh, wait, does Yuta start hunting down Itadori? Like, is his mission already in progress, Heish?
They said that in the hold on, you're asking about what happened in the manga?
Like, is he like searching for him? That's all I'm asking. Like, within those 10 chapters.
I mean, that's kind of
within those.
Cover your ears, champ.
You want to hold on? You want to know spoilers?
No, I just want to know if they're already showing him like searching for him. That's it. I'm not asking if he found him. Just
they don't show. They don't. I can't do. I can't. Here, you know what? How about I listen? How about I tell you about it after the podcast? I don't want to, because again, it's like we did a spoiler thing for like the for
season 2,
for season 2. I don't want to add in like, oh, here's a spoiler alert and such for the manga.
All right. Well,
especially if people watching it or just diehard fans.
All right. So let's go back to the Shibuya beginning of that. So this season, after that first arc of the flashback, this season really
the hidden inventory arc,
they really started off with a bang, like holy shit, and it does not stop until the very last episode of this season, which is something I loved. Everybody had their own spotlights, but like what Champ was saying, there's 2 very depressing parts in this series, and you realize they are not around. Don't worry, I'm gonna bleep this stuff out. They aren't messing around. It's like when you watch Naruto when they're kids, then when they jump into Shippuden, it gets real. And that's how season 2 already, not a whole series into another series, you're waiting for that. They jump into it in season 2, so a lot of serious shit goes down. One of my favorite fights though was Chozo fighting Itadori, and then Sukuna fighting that forbidden curse, and Megumi pretty much running away from his father. But Oh yeah, since we were talking about Toji, I wanted to bring this up. I forgot. Remember they were fighting that one curse who was kind of like a monster, then turned in like kind of transformed, and then he opened his domain, and they were on like a beach, and it was
Oh
what?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was
The main expansion.
yeah, there was four of them fighting him. I like that dude with the mustache. Have we ever seen him before? He lost his
The
arm.
old guy.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing
I
him.
don't. I think wasn't he at the end of season 1 though when they were
He
doing
might have been.
the different schools
Yeah.
competing? I don't
Like
remember.
he was kind of like a
But
dickhead, but then you see him fight and you're like, all right, this guy's pretty freaking awesome. But they were struggling so badly with that one curse. And it's like I love how these curses because I didn't realize that they evolve. And we see that a couple times in season 2, not just with that thing, whatever that thing's name was, but with Tohito as well. You see his
mhm.
evolution, which is pretty dangerous. When they're fighting him, didn't that's how that mustache dude lost his arm from that one curse, right? On the beach.
Which mustache dude?
The older
Yeah, it
guy.
was an older guy, kind of wearing like a I think he
Remember
was
it
a
was
drunk. He was
Maki?
always drinking.
It was
Oh, that
Maki,
dude.
yeah, the old guy,
Yeah.
Megami, and who was he? Oh, Naname. Um,
Hmm.
so the old guy, the
Not
old guy lost.
Gosh, we need to
Yeah,
talk about all the deaths that happen in this
we will
story,
get
bro.
up to it. I feel like we should
Not
save
on
that.
me.
Let's
Gojo is a
let's
seal.
save that towards the end. Oh yeah, when he calls him Nanaman. But I really love that whole thing because you just see how much these guys are struggling against one goddamn curse. And like what I was saying, I loved
It
how they
shows how outclassed they are. It's like
yeah.
they really depended on Gojo.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like if Goku wasn't around. I mean, well, go on, we'll kind of take over.
Well, I mean,
No, but really, it shows just how much Gojo was putting other curses in check because the old lady, which I believe was Toji's mother, hid away for years because of Gojo. And once they found out he was in prison, they came out and they're like, let's start effing shit up. And that's she had like a what was that jutsu? They or reanimation jutsu because she was bringing people dead back to life, like Toji. And so Megami's trying to open like a portal in this thing's domain to get everybody out because they couldn't beat this thing. The
Yeah,
thing
by
was
like
so
using his own
strong.
domain expansion over it.
Yeah, yeah. So as he's doing it, you see a hand come out. You're like, what the hell? And then it's Toji, and you're like, what is going on?
and he's like on autopilot.
You're just,
He's just like, I just want to fight and kill everything
When he
now.
the,
I'm just like, what?
the
His
way
eyes are like what, like red
they're
or whatever,
black.
and he's just
They were
like, oh
black.
my, oh they were
this
black.
is,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get, okay. This is gonna be one minor spoiler. This is they slightly in the manga they did tell us why he is that powerful.
Okay, all
Are you
right.
okay with this? Are you okay with hearing why this is
I
champion?
am, yeah.
Well, didn't they say it in the second?
No, they give
season
you
that
an even
he's-
bigger explanation as to why.
All right,
So like,
I'll
but
tell you when to
it's
skip.
not. Listen, it's not a spoiler. Listen, it's not it's a function. It's a function. Like they explain
like
it
a
as a
type of
function of curse
ability?
energy and such.
Like
Like
it's
why he's
it's
that
Okay,
his
powerful.
version of it,
He is
like the way he uses it.
No. So you know, it actually it's like it. So basically, they say that he doesn't have curse. The reason why he's so powerful is because he is someone who is free of curse energy. So because everyone
So
essentially
he's-
has curse energy.
I thought they said that in
okay.
season 2. I thought they already said that in the inventory arc or something like that.
But the thing is
I feel like they said that.
but the reason as to why this adds even more into like the entire thing. So like you know how
He's,
they
like,
were
pure
going
of it.
to yeah, well yeah, he doesn't have it. So but
Yeah.
like so you know how when they were trying to essentially give the vessel and such, the girl, to that one sorcerer
Yeah,
like
yeah,
person,
yeah.
like
They wanted to erase her
Mhm.
and shit. Yeah.
so essentially that was the initial destiny, but because of the fact that Toji is free of cursed energy, they were not able to account for someone like that to be the person to sort of stop that one character from getting the vessel and such that was needed in order to help replenish him.
Yeah. So it's like he
such.
has no negative energy, because to me, most cursed energy is like negative energy. It's like maybe
Yes.
he has positive energy. because he's pure of it. He doesn't have any of that curse energy. That's how I'm kind of like looking at it in a way. Maybe that's what makes him super fast and powerful by being free of curse energy.
Mhm.
I thought you had to be pure-hearted to be a Super Saiyan. Believe me, I am pure evil.
Oh, that's what Maki's trying to do. Remember, she's like that. He's like what my goal is. Because remember when he popped up, didn't she say he has no curse energy? How did he take the 3-section staff from me that quickly? So that's what Maki's trying to do. Because they're both part of the same clan, so she must already know about that. You remember her saying that? She's like, that guy, she didn't say that word exactly, but she said it in words similar. Like that's like what she's trying to
Yeah, because
accomplish herself.
she doesn't have she
Yeah,
can't use curse energy.
same thing. So that clan, I feel like, knows about that because of Toji and maybe others. But that's interesting. Now you telling me that now with her saying that literally just popped in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, she said that when she saw him. But when he popped in, his introduction once again um, was so damn cool because he made that curse look like a little bitch. And then he was sharpening that cursed weapon just on his own. And you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, the cursed weapons are so, like, they're, like, indestructible in a way, unless something's stronger than it. But it's crazy how he was just sharpening them. Doing this with them, and they're like, "What the
Bro,
fuck is going on?"
the only thing, listen, the only thing on animation, the animators did an absolutely fantastic job.
They
There's
did.
only there is only one serious complaint that I have regarding the animation. And it's not even about the animation. It's the fact that whoever is doing the animation would always do this thing in like when they dim certain scenes to where it doesn't have that same level of like light and brightness going through. You notice that like when they're fighting, like it doesn't.
They dim down the brightness.
Yeah, the brightness is.
They do that
down.
because of the Pokemon incident back in like the 90s with the one Pokemon that like caused kids have seizures. Ever since that's what they do.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, because flashing lights, or if a screen's flashing, that can give someone a seizure.
Yeah. I hate that that's there, but I guess I understand why. Because they do that on the Blu-ray versions of JJK. They take out the bright. They remove the dimming entirely.
Yeah, they just can't do it when they broadcast it for the first time, and Crunchyroll has like the broadcast versions.
Yeah.
So,
some of them
but if you buy the Blu-rays, it doesn't have those.
Bro,
like,
but unfortunately.
I feel like My Hero Academia, My Hero, some episodes would say that there's flash warning for this episode for people who.
Yeah, My Hero has that dimming thing too.
Yeah, but I remember them saying, like, you see a text saying flash warning to warn people.
It's so that, you know, kids don't have, you know, epileptic seizures.
Not just kids,
like that.
but
because that happened
anybody.
with the Pokemon. A lot of kids had seizures.
Sense. Yeah.
So they had to enforce a rule saying that you can't have flashing images like that. So that's the whole reason.
But even in certain things, I wouldn't even necessarily say that some of the movement is really flashy. I mean, it's just really like
Dragon Ball.
So,
well, if they don't dim it, they also do this thing called ghosting. I remember it's one of the episodes I saw that and I researched it. And ghosting, you might even notice it where like a frame or two frames kind of blend together. Like, think of it this way: you ever done like a transition, like doing a video effect where you transition, like do a where the opacity like kind of like flips to the next scene?
Yeah,
those kind of transitions.
Like when
that's what dimming is. It's
screen.
Basically blending like the two frames together, like. And it's to like, I guess anything that's like really fast.
Yeah.
Like anyone, like a character.
It sounds like the resampling
or even
thing.
Like the energy blast.
It sounds like a resampling thing that happens. Like in Sony Vegas, when I edit on there, there's like this thing that I have to take off. It's like it's a resampling effect, and so it kind of has that sort of ghosting fading thing where it's like all the stuff gets merged together, and it kind of messes with like the FPS of my own like stop motions and such.
Let's jump into the whole forbidden jutsu, forbidden curse and Sukuna thing. It was also cool when Sukuna came out and you had Jogo there and then the two apprentice girls of Gato, and they were trying to like ask him for something, and he's like, how dare you think just because you gave me one of my fingers that you could boss me around? And what did he do? Like slice that girl's head off with his hand? I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. And then the other girl he killed. Then we get the Jogo fight. That
Hmm.
was so dope. And Jogo was even surprised at the end. He's like, "Wait, I thought his curse abilities was like slicing and stabbing. This dude starts pulling out like flames, like Jogo, and you're like, what the hell? What kind of
Man, just like flexing. I can do this better than you.
yeah?" But
Anything that you can do, I can do better.
it's like a whole tornado of like flames. It was just such a cool animated scene to watch. Just
And
their whole fight was so cool. I loved it.
I love the fact that it's like he knew that Sukuna would just like if he was to try to use his own domain expansion, that Sukuna would just be able to like instantly reverse it with his own domain expansion and such, like
Yeah.
what Gojo did
Yeah,
with his
yeah,
infinite
yeah.
void.
So basically, and just refresh my memory, domain expansions like if like two people like release their domains, it's like kind of like a tug of war and just kind of seeing like who's stronger or something,
Mm-hmm.
or is it like a reverse Uno thing? Like I'm still a little like confused on that. Is it like a tug of war or like Uno reverse? Oh,
I will
got
say it's
you
more so like a
instead.
tug of war because you saw how Megami, when he was opening his domain expansion, it basically negated the entire guaranteed hit effect of that one fish
Mhm.
character
Yeah.
cursed
That
spirit
one
thing.
octopus dude.
Yeah, and so it's like a tug of war. So because he was, I guess you can say because he was tugging on that rope, it negated some of the effects of his domain.
Okay.
But then when
The
you're
only
in
thing,
some
the only bad side. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I was gonna say when you're in someone's domain, you're kind of like screwed.
Yeah, it's
Unless you
kind of
got him
like a
stronger cursed energy and such.
Oh yeah, unless you're
yeah.
stronger. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
The only critique I would give on some of the fights in here is that they were kind of hard to follow on some of them. The ones with Sukuna, I would say mostly because it like happened so fast, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Like
what? And
the
you
one
just
with
see
Sukuna,
buildings.
Sukuna fighting Mahoraga.
Yeah,
Forbidden
dude, that was
Jutsu,
hard
yeah,
to follow.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what is going on?
That's because
Things were like crashing, buildings falling. I was like,
they were
what
just
is
so
going on?
destructive and moving really fast. That was probably one of my favorite parts of season 2. The whole Sukuna versus that forbidden curse, whatever his
I
name
can
was.
tell, like, that fight was amazing, but I can tell that that's where the animators really were struggling because they couldn't really polish up a lot of that stuff, but it was ultimately
Yeah.
forgiving because the movement was, like, so crazy and insane. I think that they just specifically wanted to have, like, more art and more detail being involved in such a thing. And so they
Yeah.
were really trying their best, but, like, even as I was watching it, I was like, I mean, I didn't mind it, but it reminded me of, like, it kind of looked like I was watching a fan animation at some point just because of the lack of detail, but it was so fast and, like, it was so speedy and the pacing is such my eyes were just glued to the screen,
You were
and even with
destroying.
all that detail aside, it's like that still ended up being my favorite fight, I think, throughout the
They were
entire show.
destroying the
I mean,
city.
the whole time I was doing this, I was like, what the? I felt like the Z.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
like the Z. I was like the Z fighters trying to watch Goku and Cell fight. I was like, "What's happening? Do you see what's happening? I lost him like 5 minutes ago."
Well, remember when Sukuna first fought Gojo? How many fingers did Itadori eat? Just the one, right? Or
They
two?
ate him
I
like
think he just had the one.
Yeah,
Now
or
he
something like
has
that.
15. So I wonder.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, no, yeah, he has 15 now. I wonder how much stronger he is now compared to Gojo. If now he can put up an actual fight against Gojo, because he couldn't in the beginning of season 1, but now he has almost all. I think he needs what 5 more, and he has all 20 of his fingers, right? Because he had 4 hands, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it. But yeah, the whole. I was waiting and waiting and like when the hell is Sukuna gonna pop up in this goddamn season? Then we finally got it.
Bro.
But even
I
before
really
that,
wanna read the
Sukuna came
manga.
back and said, "Yo, you're not gonna forget me. I'm the whole reason why we're here."
Bro,
He's like,
no spoilers again, but the manga, the story gets even crazier, and I love it. It gets so cool and such, and
Yeah.
they give you like good explanations. All the other previous stories like are still relevant, and it's like even though the anime ended, it's like I'm still experiencing the show, and the manga is just such a good way, I think, because the paneling, it's like they make it very simple, easy to follow. Like the one thing that I definitely praise and such for how they produce manga is Dragon Ball, because of how Toriyama really makes it easy and such to flow, like, to like the next page and panels. Like it's just
Yeah.
such an easy like a read through. And Jujutsu Kaisen isn't quite like that on that same level, but it's still very good to follow and such. It doesn't really have like any cramped paneling except for that one panel which had like all the like those text boxes and such everywhere where the world
the
was
exposition,
reacting.
Which
Yeah,
we
the
can
exposition.
skip.
Yeah, which didn't.
Honestly, I don't blame Mappa for
The
because
animators,
I don't blame the animators for how they try to adapt that. Because that whole section of the end of the Shibuya arc is like, it's just it's very rushed, you know. I will say that it just kind of just like skips over large pieces of him. Yeah,
and because even the ending of it, how they gave like a paragraph to a few characters, like I was saying before, it reminds me of like watching a true story movie. Then at the end of the movie, it tells you in a paragraph what each character is currently doing. That's what it reminded me of. Like it was just like rushed real quickly so they can get into the next arc. But the like I thought we were gonna see the blonde girl. I forgot her name because
Yuki.
Yeah, they tease her at the end of the episode before, and you think like, oh, she's about to f some shit up, but you don't see her do a damn thing besides talk.
They
and
do
it's
that
like,
with a couple of characters, like Mei. Like we see her in the subway summoning her like crows and
she
about
just
to fight.
Disappeared and starts sleeping with the little
She just
kid.
dips. She dips with her brother and naked in the bed.
Wait,
which
that was her brother, and then she was naked.
That's
in
her brother, dude.
She was naked in bed with him.
That's what the whole community.
That's like a whole.
I remember
Twitter
Twitter was having a field day with that one. Let me tell you.
I did love.
Dude, I was talking to my coworker about that, and like someone was like, "What the hell?"
They pulled
but I hate
Game
Mei.
of
I
Thrones.
hate her. I hate her.
Like
She abandoned it.
disappeared.
She only cares about herself and money.
Yeah,
to be
but
honest,
wasn't she
To be
walking
fair,
up to
she was very
Gato?
upfront with that from the very beginning of the entire thing. It's like it's the nature and such of being a jujutsu sorcerer. They even talk about that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that Mei is actually a more so like an actual like understanding of like how the jujutsu sorcerers really are. So it's like you're not supposed to necessarily like them. It's supposed to just be a realistic thing because like they don't take they always step into those really gray areas and such of like doing things because they're not superheroes. They're not like shonen anime characters. They're very gray characters who are just there to do the job. Because like you saw like as soon as there's a business opportunity, boom, they're trying to make money. She got out of there and just like started trying to make money.
Some of them are good, and some of them are like you said are in that gray area, and some of them just don't give a f. But like, I thought she was walking up to fight that bootleg Gato, and then all of a sudden, next time you see her, she's in bed with her brother. I also did like the little comedy between how the brother would be like, "How dare you talk to her when she asks you a question?" to Itadori. He kept like, doing that every time.
Simp. He's a simp.
For his own sister. Like, what the?
Sweet home, Alabama.
Yeah, I thought that was just like someone she was training. I didn't realize that was her little brother.
I wish it was me.
But she does have that. It's like, why do you cover your entire face with one braid and then the other braid in the back? I always thought that was a little odd.
She has
too.
a very interesting design.
I don't know why that always bugged me so bad. Like just move your hair out.
I thought she had it on the side, but it's literally in the middle. It's like, what the hell? I love the way she walks too.
Of course you do.
But
all right.
Yeah, her whole thing was weird. And before we get to the big things, who hates
I feel like
side ponytail guy? Who hates that guy? Side ponytail blonde hair guy.
Maito?
No. Side
you're talking
hair.
about the guy that
I hate that
Nanami
guy.
pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his
and he
hair?
kept stabbing everybody. Nanami just beat the living hell out of him. When he found out.
Yeah, I know that whole scene of Nanami pulling that guy's hair. A lot of people went crazy for that.
Yeah,
That was
it's
such a
like,
good scene.
finally.
It was so satisfying because I hated like how he was like with all
me
those
too.
other characters.
What is he, a human or a curse?
He's a human, I believe.
Okay, that's
He's a
what I
curse
thought.
human.
Yeah, he's trying to like.
He has
hang
this
out
like a
with them.
weird ability where like he has like these tears on his tattoos.
Yeah.
And like I guess they represent like his luck factor. Like
Yeah.
I guess he's able to produce his own luck curse energy.
And
I don't know.
Yeah, it went away.
But he ran out of it and Sukuna killed him. So I was like, that's funny.
He did die. I thought
Yeah,
he did.
Sukuna killed him. He's like, oh, I
that's
guess your luck ran out.
No, I would like to think that the way that it works, it was like Sukuna was like, you know what? Why don't I just kill this dude? And it's just like at that moment, like that thought came about. The only reason why he didn't
Yeah.
even think, that didn't even come across his mind was because of his own luck. So when that luck ran out, I was like, wait,
Yeah.
like Sukuna's like, wait, I just killed suicide. What am I doing? Dead. Love
Yeah.
it.
And Sukuna healed Megami, right? Because Megami was like
He
dying.
he didn't heal him, but he
He did
basically he gave
something
him
to
some
save his
cursed
life.
energy, I think,
Yeah,
right?
he did something to save his life. So
Yeah.
they didn't leave you on that cliffhanger. But there is two. I think we're
He's
getting
definitely
towards.
planning something with Megumi.
Yeah, there is
Mm.
something going on. I have no idea what it is. We're gonna get to the big parts here. There's two big deaths. Personally, I don't think one of them died, but one of them did die. It was heartbreaking, and it's someone we were just talking about, and he was a pretty big character so far throughout the series, Naname. And the way he
Nanami, yeah.
died. Oh yeah, let's talk about how before that, Jugo. We don't know if he killed Maki, the mustache guy. It seems like he did because he literally burned them all. Because
Hmm.
you see, Naname literally turns into Two
I'm
Face.
convinced Maki's dead. Like I just
She
don't
could
think
be.
I
She
don't
could
see her
be.
surviving.
Yeah, she could be dead. The
Hmm.
mustache. I feel like who was the other one? Oh, Megami. So I
Hmm.
feel like out of all of them, the mustache guy and Naname died, but Naname died from Mojito, which
Hmm.
which was heartbreaking. And then he killed Kuga. What's her name? Kugisaki,
Nobara?
the girl.
No,
Nobara?
Nobara.
Nob-
Yeah, he
the one with
killed her.
the hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the little
Yeah.
backstory they gave you of her was so heartbreaking too, and it's like, oh man.
I'm
But
s-
I
I'm
don't think
still
she
not even
died.
sure. I think that she's dead. I really because it's
I
like
don't think she
because
is.
I heard that the only reason why I'm sure of the fact that she's dead is just because like isn't because of any spoilers or whatnot, but it's just like all I constantly hear about from manga readers is that they say that the next series like the next chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen is like some of the most depressing shit that you ever
Yeah,
get that you ever read. Like it gets apparently it gets even worse from here, bro. I don't know how
yeah.
they can top it's so bad.
That
Um
broke Itadori too when she got killed, and he just
like I
couldn't.
see a
It's
meme
like, oh, I
you
almost
know
spoiled
the,
for
the
for another series. Good thing you talked
okay.
and stopped me.
I was gonna say so like I was gonna say like so basically you know how like the character like every character death leads to the main character leading character development. So I see, you know how
What?
like it's like okay, so you know how a hero's journey, right? When with that whole thing, how a character deaths like
Yeah,
bring about the main character's development. When it comes
yeah.
to you, like when it comes to the meme and such, when it with Yuji's perspective, the way that the manga readers explain it, and this is without them even giving spoilers. I don't know how this is gonna work, but it's like apparently more people die, and Yuji doesn't have really anything other development than like the effect of like other someone else's death and such in the story.
Yeah,
So we're just
yeah. It's
more.
he just
That's
couldn't
why I
do
just don't feel
anything.
like Nobara is gonna survive. Me personally, I just don't
Okay. I
like.
do
That's
love
just
how
based off of
Toto.
that.
I
Man,
do
I
love
don't even
how
know if I
Toto.
want to read the manga now. I don't want to go through more pain. I just got done with Attack on Titan. God!
Yeah, we're gonna be from what he's just saying. We're gonna probably see a few more deaths, and you know what? I feel like that's good when the creator isn't scared to do stuff like that. Even
Mhm.
like with Demon Slayer, when spoilers for Mugen Train, even in Demon Slayer when they killed Rengoku, that shocked the hell out of me. I'm like, whoa,
That put
what
the
the
fear in
hell?
my heart because I feel like, oh my god, all the Harshiras is gonna die one by one.
What?
Right?
Right?
Make you think that? Like
Yeah, I thought
that
that.
Yeah.
I
had me
thought that was gonna
sweating.
happen. I was like, when we saw Tengen, I thought he was gonna die
Yeah, I
next, and
was
then I
like, oh
thought,
no.
but I was like, okay, they might be able to live.
I
Hmm.
spoiled it before it was animated because I'm like, I hope he doesn't get killed too. But yeah, I like when manga creators aren't scared to do that, but don't
Yeah,
overdo it. Sometimes they overdo it, which they did in Naruto Shippuden. They overdid it a little too much.
It's really a weird thing because it's like I heard that the author for JJK doesn't even like Yuji. He hates his own main character.
Because he
And I
wanted
think
Yuta to be the main character.
exactly. And so it's like, so he gives him a very like specific, like, you know, sort of plot point. He just keeps on making this character suffer.
Yeah.
Through all these
I
different
think he's all right. He's an all right character. He reminds me of like Naruto in a way. Like, but I like him more than I like Naruto as a main character.
but yeah, I know still, but it's like when I hear about stuff like that, and you know, it makes you question, is like, is this really all, is all of this stuff happening because the guy is trying to be a competent manga writer, or is he just doing this to torture this character and make money?
Torture this
Yeah, you
character,
don't know.
torture us, and then still make money in the process.
Oh, who
Exactly.
cheered? Remember when Itadori wasn't fighting and that kill shot was about to happen to him from Mojito? Did you guys cheer when Toto showed up and saved him? I thought it was the principal at first. I'm like, oh
when
shit,
he did the
Toto!
clap, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Toto and Yuji, freaking, when they like did the whole 2v1 or the 2v2 with
Yeah.
Mahito, dude, that was awesome. That's my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
episode.
And
not only that,
Mojito,
but
like,
Toto,
couldn't-
Toto lift my spirits. I freaking love him. I'm like, he's such a fun character where he's like, come
Yeah.
on, bro, this is what we fight for.
That type of scene really makes you think like, okay, well, so it's like the author clearly understands like the position that he put Yuji in, and it's like he's like he gave such a great freaking speech and such about remembering the dead and everything like that. That was like it was like the perfect thing that Yuji needed at that specific point in time to help him mentally recover from the entire thing that took place. Like he was just ready to die. I was convinced that if
what
Toto
I
did
also
not
love is that Toto kind of helped bring back some of that comedic fun, because JJK can have lighthearted, funny moments, not like ridiculous, like, you know, Demon Slayer or One Piece, but like enough where it's like, oh, that's fun, I'm having fun, I'm laughing, and I think that's really what, you know, Itadori really needed at that moment, because he needed it. It got so bad. Just right before Mahito killed Nobara, he fucking Sukuna killed everyone. He killed he like there was a hole in Tokyo, and he was like, you know, Itadori was just scraping the ground with his fingernails. He was bleeding. He's like, I want to die. Started throwing. It was dark, and I felt bad for this guy. I'm like, and then they would like play like, you are my special. I'm like,
okay.
Dream
so many people
sequence.
that has been memed, and so many people dislike that. Until and I kind
that's
of
been an anime trope forever, though. That's been an anime trope forever.
But it is, and it's like I think it's just the fact that not as many people really do like that song, and it just did not seem to fit. Here's the reason why. When you realize that song "You Are My Special" is actually Sukuna saying that is actually Sukuna being the main person towards Itadori, because Itadori is his special. Then it's like it's sort of like a mocking play towards Yuji. It's all meant to mock him. But it's like I think it. But because of just how funny that scene was, and just like how many people just got caught off guard by it, I've seen people do edits and such. When Nobara died, you just play "You Are My Special."
How about like, the part where Toto, it's like this is in his head, and he's with that actress he loves, and they're
that's funny. And they like do like a whole like this is my stand. They like do a combo, and then
I thought that necklace was like gonna unleash his like true potential or something, but it was just a picture of Itadori and what is her name, Karasaki or something like that. I was like,
Mahito's just like, he just stares at it for like
it threw him off guard. He's like, what the hell? And he was able to capitalize off that.
As an anime watcher, though, the one thing that was really like I think was confusing was the one character who has like that blood cursed ability stuff. He was saying that
Chozo, he's dope.
Chozo, yeah, but like he like the whole thing was like apparently him and Yuji are brothers. Yeah. And so I was like, I was already so used to Todo, obviously, you know, not being legit Yuji's brother, but then this character is like apparently is his brother. So
yeah,
I'm gonna break it down because I had to watch a video on it that sort of explained this. So like when that character's brothers died, like at the end of season 1, he felt that because of his cursed ability. When he almost killed Yuji, he felt almost the exact same thing. So because of that, it made him realize, like, wait a second, this guy might actually be related to me. So this is actually like a legitimate, serious thing. And it kind of like, when you look back at, you know, Yuji's past, which isn't necessarily focused as much, it's like, all you see is this dude's grandpa. You never knew his parents. You never knew anything like that. But so it actually ends up being, if this ends up being the case in which he is his brother, it actually explains Yuji's source of strength and such, why he's already like a crazy strong character without necessarily being introduced with like cursed energy and such at the beginning of season 1. It kind of helps out with that type of thing underneath the circumstances.
But it's is Chozo half human, half curse or something? Because he had a brother.
Yeah,
that
Chozo
was
is
like
half curse and half human.
Yeah,
But
okay.
the
Because
thing
one
is,
brother was
it's
human
kind
and one
of
was a curse.
I think but there's something that Kim King Jaku said that he basically took over Chozo's father or something like that. And supposedly it's hinted at or implied that Kenjaku could also be Itadori's dad. I don't know. I'm like a little confused on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be like explained more in the next arc or the following arcs. But I'm like, wait.
They did show a little bit of something
get-go?
in the manga. They did show a little bit of something in the manga, like regarding like Yuji's backstory. But it was more so like a hint and a tease. They didn't really get into like as much of the stuff. But it basically was enough at that point in the story for Yuji to be like, all right, you know what? I think he actually is my brother. That's really what it was for. But it was just vague. It was just very vague.
I mean, he is like at first I hated his pigtails, but like his character grew on me, and then watching him and Itadori fight, that was one of my favorite parts. But then watching him hold his goddamn own against Gato, who's supposed to be the big antagonist, I was like, this dude's pretty talented and powerful. Like he's no weak character. He's fighting the main villain one on one. That girl with the ice ability had to jump in and kind of distract him from fighting Gato, and I'm like, this dude's pretty freaking awesome. Can we get an SH Figure Arts, please?
I'm just saying, like, that one scene in, like, the anime and in the opening when Chozo's doing this, when he's being flooded with the memories, that's me the whole season. That's just been going, oh my god!
Well, when it happened, I'm like, what? Like, when they showed what he was seeing, I'm like, what the f is going on? Like, I thought he was dying. And then you see him, like, curled up, like, freaking out under, like, in a room or something. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But
it's a trip.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, what the hell is going on? I mean, anything else? Like, how would you rate this season from a 1 to 2? And which season did you like better so far, season 1 or 2? How would you rate it from a 1 through 10, I mean?
Me personally, there's one thing that I do like more about season 1, and that's just the art style. I think that the art style and the character models, like, they were very well detailed.
Mappa,
it reminds me, it was Mappa. It was
it's
kind
Mappa.
of, but it's like the difference in art style that they did when like moving from season 1 to season 2. It kind of reminded me of like Attack on Titan when it went from Wit to Mappa. In which they kind of had a lot more lighting and sort of like more detail and such in the characters and the contrast and the light and everything like that. They made it a little bit more, but like I understand why it's like that. It makes complete sense because moving into season two and such, the character models are much more simpler, or not simpler, but like less detailed in that way. I didn't even notice it as much at first, but then it's like it becomes so obvious when you go look back at season 1. The reason why it was like that, it was just to make it to where they can animate things, mostly, better. So where I think that the character models in season 1 is objectively better. Seeing how great the animation is as a result of them changing the models here like a little bit more to make them more simpler, definitely I think adds to the cost, to make crazy animation. I mean, so the Mahoraga stuff, like the Gojo versus Sukuna thing, not Gojo versus Sukuna, what's that volcano dude's head name again? Jogo, yeah, Jogo versus Sukuna. All these crazy animations that they were able to make because of these simpler models, making it easier for the animators. It was really just like they really absolutely came out beautiful. And I think that everything that season 2 was provided, it's kind of, I'd say season 2 is probably better. I think I liked it more. It's much more memorable with how it came out. I mean, all the effects and such with the curses still looks like stuff from season 1. And with that cost and such that they added in, like I think that mostly just at the end of this whole thing is that like we just need to praise the animators for all the amazing work that they did putting into the season.
They need to give them time now. It's season 3. Don't rush them the freaking day before or something, so they'll have time.
I didn't even look. The frustrating thing is it doesn't even seem like they're going to be they're gonna be giving these animators time or like respecting that because they already announced another thing for the Chainsaw Man movie, and then they're already announcing JJK season 3. So it's like, when are these animators going to get a break?
And supposedly the Calling game is going to be a very long season, and it's coming out late 2024 or early 2025.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like the thing is, dude, the calling game. It's like, just reading the 10 chapters in and such into the new arc. They didn't even start with that. They're just still talking about what exactly that is.
Oh, the calling games.
Yeah, the calling games. So, which I mean makes sense. I mean, you're gonna have to transition to like, okay, well, is like what's like Yuta's hunting down Yuji to like, well, now there's this game and such going on. So you kind of have to like, I guess, explain how transition between that and that.
I wonder how many episodes it'll be, because season 1 was like 24. This season was like 20 or 21 episodes or something like that.
Honestly, I feel like like at the pacing that we're going at, I think that the 10 chapters I just read could probably fit like maybe 3 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen or so.
Yeah. For me, season 2 was just lit AF. Like when I watched season 1, I was like watching the next episode and continuing. But when I was on season 2, I really wanted to get to the next episode to see what happens. Like I was really that anxious. Season 1 didn't have me. It did at some parts, but not as much as season 2. Season 2 really hooked and reeled me in, and I'm a fish. Like,
bro, because of that, it was because of that cliffhanger too that I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna read the manga now. I think with season 1, it kind of ended off with like something that made it feel a little bit more complete. Like, I was willing to wait, but with a cliffhanger like that, I'm just like, screw you, I'm reading it now. I can't wait no more.
It was a really big cliffhanger, and even just start like, Inumaki. What condition is he in? Is he in critical condition? He's probably just, not even Toto now lost a hand. So people are losing limbs now. I mean, if you have someone like Sukuna, I'm pretty sure he knows how to reverse curse and give you your arm back. I mean, he does it with Itadori. I don't know if he can do it with other characters, though.
I feel like Toto, he'll probably get like some sort of like armored hand, like what that one cyborg character had.
Oh,
so like he'll probably like an animatronic thing.
Him. Oh wait, did he die?
He's dead. No, but they had the tech. I'm sure that they can do something because they have technology. He just,
I wonder
he can
if
imbue his
curse. Talk about
Mekamaru.
Yeah,
Mekamaru, yes, yeah.
I
mean, if they
if
have the technology,
his story, man, I feel bad, but I'm like, you also kind of like was like an informant for the villains. So I'm like, you kind of
his story.
Honestly, dude, I don't know, man. I feel like there's still some potential.
He held his own, man. He had a freaking giant mech, and he tried to hold his own. I give him props.
Mojito killed him, right?
Mojito, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he also, I guess, the same night, because he predicted that the incident in Shibuya was going to happen, so he like sent off some of his friends, some of his classmates, because he knew they were going to die. So he sent them off to do another mission, and he's like, "Yeah, the survival rate of you guys was very low." So So he was trying to watch out for them. I'm like, dude, you might be an ass, but you do some good things.
I think I'm gonna rate this season a 9 out of 10 too. This was a really good season of just anime in general, of an anime series. Very.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'm knocking it 2 points because it gave me very very major trauma and PTSD. So I have to schedule some major therapy.
Well, I like trauma, so I'm gonna give me a 10 out of 10.
Oh, a lot of
Listen, bro, if an anime sticks with you and it stays rent free in your head, it's doing something right.
Yeah,
unless it's doing something wrong.
Is Attack on Titan still rent free in your head?
Not as much anymore, but I still do think Attack on. I still keep Attack on Titan as like my number 1 anime. Like
we're watching season 2 right now. Like I'm on the Flashback arc, rewatching it. Just so
Attack on Titan.
No, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
I want to rewatch it just because when
watch Attack on Titan.
I will. When you start to like something or just want to learn more about it, you like watch the series more than once. He gave it his rating. Any last thoughts from you, Chan? Me and he kind of gave our little last thoughts.
I was actually joking about 10 out of 10. I'll probably give it like 9 or 8, like 8.5 or like that.
It was a really good. It was really good season. Credit to the Mappa animators. I mean, they did a hell of a job. I wish them luck. I hope they get the breaks they deserve because they just have so many projects lined up.
Let them see their families.
Nah. Yeah, right.
Let them eat and let them pee.
Let them go to Disney World.
Oh
or
no, why
hire
go to
more
Disney?
animators, for Christ's sake.
Sorry, not Disney. Okay.
Give
Let them go to the
help.
amusement parks and such. Like,
Yeah.
let them have some fun, take some breaks, like have some fresh air and such. Like, I don't want them living in the
It's-
animation studios and
it's-
sleeping there.
Yeah, right. It's just amazing what these guys were doing with those really big episodes too. Like how they were doing it like hours before it was airing. It's they're
Then you got to
very
think too. It's not just the if the
animators.
animation's not done. It's like the person editing all and syncing all the audio and the music all together. They got to make sure that they get that done and such.
Yeah.
Like right there too, and all the dimming and such that they consider before the episode goes out.
So don't work them to death with season 3. Give them time to do the damn work, because under pressure they do great, but you don't want to put people under pressure and stress.
I mean, at this time they're probably already under pressure. They're like, hey, work on Clone Games now. They're probably working on it right now. They're already storyboarding, probably in the design, like designing the characters and stuff like that. They're already pre-production at this moment. Because if it's coming out early 2025 or late 2024, they're already doing it now. So God bless them. Seriously.
Well, a lot of the animators that are involved over at Mappa are freelance animators, so they're not even necessarily. At the very least, the good thing about it is that they're not people that they're not. They're just not people that are stuck there because they're freelance. They don't have an official contract in which they work there. But like it's good to have that sort of people. I think at this point are just working at Mappa for the sake of building a resume and working at like other places that like actually respect them, like Toto Animations, like Tokyo Central, all those like other studios. Yeah, Ufotable, Toei. Honestly though, I don't know how many. Maybe what I think Ghibli. I think people would probably want to work at Ghibli. That would probably be their dream, because Ghibli would also like they focus on movies. They get a lot of time and such between that type of thing. They get a good amount of money. They have a good schedule and such.
Overall, though, it was a fan-freaking-tastic season. It's such. I am so hyped now for season 3, and just like you, Ish, I'm going to start reading some of the manga.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Take us out.
You don't know how many spoilers I have avoided telling you guys in this video. You will see. You will see watching back if that's the case.
Well, when I start reading it, I'll message you.
If you can probably read the first 3, like where I'm up to in like an hour or something like that, then you go and edit this video and just be like, oh, well, he didn't tell us about this. Oh, he didn't tell us about that. He could have said something, but he didn't.
I'm gonna buy the physical copies.
All right, guys, let us know what you guys think about season 2 down in the comment section below. We do I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day and a fantastic start to the new year. With that being said, we'll bring this episode to a close.
Look, Gojo's
we'll see you guys
freed out.
Wait, what?
Gojo's free.
Gojo's free.
Like a champ. Sorry. Finish it off.
All right, with that being said, we'll see you guys in the comment section. Until then.
See you later.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to our podcast episode.
If you're on YouTube and have watched the video,
then thank you for watching as well. We are your hosts,
Starblast Studios,
Champ Animation,
and me, Daredevil 19.
And if you enjoyed our episode on Spotify, be sure to give us a follow and rating.
You can also leave us a comment on Spotify in the Q&A.
And we do thank you if you do. And if you did watch this on YouTube, be sure to give us a like if you liked it, and a subscribe-a-roo if you enjoyed it. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Plastic Power Podcast.